Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading for how your love interest feels about you. So I'm going to be looking at the overall energies, how you feel about your love interest, how they feel about you, and the overall outcome for you in love from now up until the 31st of May. So before I start, I just want to give a huge shout out to Occult Healing. They are he is amazing. He does birth chart readings. He done me a birth chart reading and he was so accurate. And he's got an amazing channel as well. So I will link all of his stuff in the description link. So if you want to learn more about astrology, energy, that kind of stuff, definitely check out his channel, Occult Healing. So I'm going to start with your reading. So what is the overall energy for Gemini in love from now up until the 31st of May? So you are taking back control of a situation. Okay, it's time to take back control of your life. So I feel like right now you are working on, again, getting in control of whatever it is that you're going through. What is the overall energy for Gemini in love from now up until the 31st of 18? What is the overall energy in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st of 18? So healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive parents. So some of you are dealing with family issues. So if it's not you, it could be your love interest that's having a few family issues. This could also be, if you're married and you have kids, obviously your class is a family. You might be working on issues within the home, okay? But there's something surrounding the family that is just having a bit of an effect, okay? So what is the overall energy in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st of May? So we've got the Knight of Gabriel. So someone is definitely coming in. For some of you, this is a fire sign. But with the Knight of Gabriel, this is the Knight of Fire. So this person, they arrive into our lives very, very quickly, but then they're kind of gone again. So just be a little bit wary of this, okay? Someone might be a little bit flighty. Clarification on the Knight of Gabriel. The Lovers, yeah, okay. So to be honest, Gemini, I'm seeing like a one night stand kind of energy here, okay? So please be a little bit careful. Okay, I'm gonna switch decks. What is the overall energy in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st of May? The Page of Wands. So you received some kind of message from this person. I'm just looking at the comments. Okay. So with the Page of Wands, so someone might actually message you, and say, let's do this, let's do that. Pages usually bring messages, and it's all about excitement, about adventure. So I feel as though some of you might be kind of tempted to take this person up on their offer. Okay, so let's clarify the Lovers. Clarification on the Lovers. Clarification on the Lovers. The Queen of Swords. Okay, so I feel as though this person is not really offering their emotions, Gemini, okay? Again, I have to be honest about what I see in the cards. It could be that they have to choose between, multiple people, but I am seeing someone kind of coming in, offering something physical, but they're withholding their emotions with the Queen of Swords, okay? Or it's like they're not taking your emotions into consideration. So please be a little bit careful, okay? So let's see how you feel about your love interest. Okay, so how does Gemini feel about their love interest from now up until the 31st of June? Yeah, so you are definitely feeling this imbalance between you both. With the unrequited love card, I don't know why it's called that, because it doesn't really mean that. What it means is there's a bit of imbalance somewhere, and it's like this cat and mouse chase. So, 1 minute they're chasing you, and then the next minute you might be kind of chasing them. It's like this imbalance, this on again, off again, cat and mouse chase thing that's going on. How does Gemini feel about their love interest from now up until the 31st of June? But I feel as though even though there is this imbalance, you're still trying to remain positive about the situation. Okay, you're trying to stay optimistic. How does Gemini feel about their love interest from now up until 31st of June? Okay, so you do want a new start, and you are feeling some kind of passion for this person. You know, Ace of Wands are all about new beginnings, so you might feel as though things are moving forward. Again, it's like even though there's this imbalance, it's like there's just this spark between you both. How does Gemini feel about their love interest from now? Okay. Yeah, okay. I feel like you're seeing this person as being a little bit out of control. The Chariot, when it's upright, one of the sphinxes represents the mind, the other one represents emotion. So when it reverses, this person's they're not balanced, they're not in control of themselves. So it's like, I feel like you're kind of like a moth to the flame. You're attracted to someone that's just all over the place. Okay, so again, please be careful. So I do have to be honest about what I see. So now let's move on to how they feel about you. And then we'll look at the outcome. How does Gemini's love interest feel about them from now up until the 31st of June? Deception. Okay, so with the deception, it's nothing bad, okay? It just means that someone is wearing a bit of a false mask. So it could be there's been some kind of deception somewhere. But again, it could even be something as simple as, again, if you look at the imagery, it's someone wearing a mask, okay? So it could be, lying and cheating, that kind of thing, but it doesn't have to be. It could just mean that someone is just not revealing them, their true selves. So how does Gemini's love interest feel about them from now up until the 31st of June? Finances and career. So I feel like this person sees you as being very, very focused on yourself, on your money, on your job, on your work, on your career, which is good, because if you do have someone that's coming towards you, and they're a little bit unstable, you're doing the right thing, okay? How does Gemini's love interest feel about them from now up until the 31st of 18? Yeah, so they're feeling left out in the cold. They're not feeling connected to you, they're just feeling left out in the cold. So it could be that, due to this person's lies, you've left them out in the cold, and now you're just focused on finance and career, and they, kind of know that. Okay, so how does Gemini's love interest feel about them from now up until the 31st of June? How does Gemini's love interest? Okay. But they still feel as though they're able to manifest a situation with you, okay? So I feel like this person is waiting for the right opportunity, the right time, the right place to come back in, okay? So this person, even though you two aren't speaking, they still feel as though they can come back. I feel like they're like a bit of an opportunist. Okay, Elizabeth says, do you think I should tell him I like him? I'm going to pull a card for you when I finish doing this, actually, Elizabeth. I'm quite random. Sometimes I like to pull cards for people. So, how does Gemini's love interest feel about them from now up until the 31st? Clarification on the Ace of Pentacles. Clarification on the Ace of Pentacles. Right, okay. So, this person, who are you dealing with, Gemini? This person is all over the place. So they feel that they can manifest something with you, but it's not stable. It's not stable. They are out of control. Honestly, tell me, who are you dealing with? This person is just all over the place. So, okay, so now let's look at your outcome. What is the outcome? What is the outcome in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st? What is the outcome? Okay. So there is definitely chemistry between you and this person. Like I said, I feel like when it comes to this person, there is a very strong chemistry there. And you guys are like a moth to a flame. It's very kind of magnetic. There's a very strong attraction. So they're, very attracted to you as much as you're attracted to them. What is the overall outcome in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st of Keep an open mind. Your soulmate differ from your usual type and expectations. So some of you will be interacting with a soulmate, okay, but this person may be just a little bit different to what you're used to, okay. So they might have different ideas, they might look a little bit different, you know. So and right at the bottom of the deck, the underlying energy is reconciliation. So you know, it's possible that someone will return. Okay, I'm just reading. I've been having I've been having weird dreams about someone from the past. It's so strange we haven't talked in the 3D, but we. Oh, okay. You communicate in the dream realm. Okay, that's really, really interesting. So, as I said at the beginning of the live stream, there's this really good YouTuber called Occult Healing. He, you know, kind of, you know, touches on those subjects. So, definitely head over there, you know, to kind of look at his videos and see what he says about, you know, the 5D realm and dreams and that kind of stuff. Okay, he kind of touches on all that stuff, so you know, you guys could definitely learn a lot. So let's have a look. So what is the outcome in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st? What's the outcome in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st? 14. So I feel like some of you are making a decision about this person, okay? Because upright, this is being in two minds. This is ignoring problems. So I feel as though by the end of it, you're going to make up your mind about this person. You're going to be able to deal with whatever issues you and this person are facing. I feel like you might see them for who they really are, okay? What is the overall energy outcome in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st of 18? Yeah, so some of you will have options, okay? So some of you might be mixing and mingling, you know, and messaging different people, and that's all good. You know, I do feel as though some of you have options and you're making your mind up as to who you want to be with, okay? So what is the outcome in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st of May? Yeah, so some of you definitely taking back control of a situation. So I'm going to switch decks. What is the outcome in love for Gemini from now up until the 31st? So I feel like some of you are taking control by putting things on pause a little bit, so you can actually make your mind up about this situation, how you're going to deal with this person who you're dealing with. Okay, I said I was going to pull a card for somebody. So just to summarize this, basically, I feel as though there is a soulmate. You have a very strong chemistry with this person, but I feel as though kind of withdrawing a little bit so that you can make a decision. Okay, right. Okay, so okay, let's put this card back. Okay, so you want to know if you should tell your love interest you like them. Okay, should Elizabeth tell her love interest that she likes him? Yes. You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. Take a risk. Should Elizabeth tell her love interest how she feels about him? Okay, you've got the Five of Gabriel. So I don't know. I have to be honest. I feel as though he might have other women that like him as well. Okay, but they're saying that, you know, if there is a bit of a challenge, you can resolve it. Should Elizabeth tell her love interest that she likes him? Time to move quickly. Choose logic over emotion. Sudden change. Okay, I feel as though if you're going to tell this person that you like them, you need to do it in the right way. But I do feel as though you might have a little bit of competition, so be wary of that. But the cards aren't really saying anything too negative about it. But just bear in mind that, again, you know, the Five of Gabriel speaks about competition. Okay, so pull one more card. Memory Dean, should I talk to the person from past or wait? So can you clarify if you mean should you reach out to them, or if they'll contact you, should you respond? Because the more specific you are, the more specific the answers you get. So you're welcome, Elizabeth. I'm just waiting. Should I talk to the person from the past or wait? Should I contact him? Oh, okay, right. Should Memory Dean reach out to her love interest? The Lovers. So this is someone who you do have a very deep emotional bond with. You know, there is definitely love there. Should Memory Dean reach out to her love interest? Okay, why is the Ten of Gabriel here? Why is the Ten of Gabriel here? Okay, I feel what they're saying for you, Memory Dean, is that if you reach out to this person, there is love there. They have love for you. There will be a chance to rekindle something, but I don't know if it would be a good idea because it's kind of like he's bringing stress towards you. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm feeling as though you know, it's kind of up to you. If you reach out to him, like I said, there's a chance to rekindle, but it's just going to be very, very stressful. So you know, if you want to bring that to you, then that's up to you. So I'll leave that one with you, okay? But there will be a chance to rekindle. Rekindled relationships, okay? The Six of Raphael, which is the Six of Cups, speaks about bringing things back from the past, thinking about the past, that kind of stuff. So I don't know if it's a good idea though, because it's just, you know, kind of drama that you don't need. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, and I will leave that one with you. So if you would like a private reading with me, all the information you need will be in the description link after this live stream. And again, follow Occult Healing, you know, if you want to learn about astrology and energy work, that kind of stuff. He's absolutely amazing. He does birth chart readings as well. I recently had an amazing birth chart reading. You know, he literally told me all about myself, and I was like, wow, it was so amazing. Okay, so yeah, so definitely check him out. He's got an Aquarian X that has been. Sorry, I'm just reading a comment. Okay then, Elizabeth. I hope it all works out for you. I am going on holiday on the 13th and a film meeting someone overseas. Can you confirm? Okay. Intimately, BB. I do have to go now. Okay, but try to catch me on the next live stream, and I will definitely make sure I answer that question for you. I do have to go now. Okay. So thanks to all of you for tuning in. Again, don't forget to look at the description link and follow Occult Healing. Okay, and I'll see you all soon.